Okay, hey you guys. Hey Sarah, thanks for hopping on. I'm glad that you're on too. So this call is going to be for what to do when you sign a new distributor. If you sign them, if someone in your upline signs them and moves them underneath you, if someone in your downline signs a distributor, or if you've got a big team underneath you, like how do you train them? How do you coach them? How do you do your work? Plus help them be successful and like just kind of creating that system. Okay. So I need this to be a little bit interactive because I don't want to just talk at you. So I would love it if you guys can just unmute and have a conversation with me. When you first signed up, okay. So think back to when you first signed up. You can go one at a time or you can just type it in the chat, whatever you want. But like, what did you like? What did you not like? Everybody's different as far as what overwhelms them, what they need. But can we just talk about real quick when you first signed up? How was it for you?
So I'll jump in on that because my enroller quit not too long after I signed up. But when I first signed up, she was very involved with everything, and she was, letting me send screenshots and things like that. We didn't have all of the hack training Facebook page and the group chats and all of that then. So I just was in a group chat with her and I think you for a little while, and you guys like answered my screenshot questions, and we were using a lot of the training videos in the e-suite. And so I think now that we've evolved into the interactive pack training on Facebook, I feel like that's a lot more, that's more user-friendly than the ones that are in the e-suite, because we've gone through all of that and we know what overwhelmed us and what information we needed and stuff like that. So when I first started, I feel like I kind of didn't get all of the information necessarily, but was still supported in the sense that it was kind of like learn as you go, and you guys were answering my screenshots and stuff like that. So like there was still training and we were still learning, but I feel like we've evolved now into something way better than that.
Okay, love it. Anybody else want to share? Carrie Ann, we're just talking about when you first started, what did you like? What did you not like as far as training stuff went?
So for me, Tamika was my enroller, so she really was on top of it. Like she would tell me what to say and how many people to say it to. So you were like really there. I could send you screenshots and you would help me out with all of that. What I didn't really like and I still don't like, is when I try to use the eSuite, I find that a lot of like the promotions and stuff are not up to date. So I rely on you guys in the chats and on the calls to kind of tell me what's going on. So that's really the only thing for me, is just I didn't know how to use the eSuite, and then some of the documents are out of date.
Okay. Katie or Carrie Ann, anyone you guys want to share? And you guys can go ahead and type it in the chat too.
I definitely agree that as a team now, we're more plugged into the information like right away, versus like Carrie Ann was saying that sometimes it's not right in the e-suite or something like that. Like I feel like we're more plugged into it now.
Okay. So the reason why I asked this is because, Sarah got enrolled by somebody else who's no longer in the business. I enrolled Ashley, Katie, Carrie Ann. And so you guys, like, I always tell people, if you want to attract distributors, like you have to know what to do with them. Like it's a big deal to know and feel confident and excited in your training. Okay. And like what you're going to do for your distributors. Now, how I was trained is not the same way that I train you guys, because I had no idea when I first started. So when I first started, I literally like messaged my upline. She told me what to do. I did it. I messaged my upline. She told me what to do. I did it. And then I quickly realized that she didn't really know what she was doing. So then I went to the diamond leader above her and did what I was supposed to do. I tuned into calls. I used my eSuite as much as possible. But, just like Sarah said, it was just like trial and error. And when I think about Ashley, Katie, Carrie Ann, I have this system where I have in my notes, in my phone, these are the 10 things that I'm going to have my new distributors do. After these 10 things, like it's on them, right? And with all of you guys who are on this call, I throw the ball to you and you threw it back. I threw it, you threw it back. And like, that's why it moves smoothly. That's why you guys are successful. You're going to have people in your downline that you throw the ball to and they weren't even there in the first place. Like, you threw it to absolutely no one because they weren't even there to catch it. You're going to throw the ball to people and they're going to catch it and they're going to hang on to it for so long. And why do they do that? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's because they don't schedule in time. Maybe because they don't really understand what they're doing. And so how you train every single person in your downline is going to depend on their personality, their comfort level, how much they're willing to open up to you. And, you know, like me and Ashley were complete strangers, like really had never even talked before, but like she trusted me right away. And why was that? I don't know. And maybe she can share that, you know, and like me and Katie had talked for a long time, like even Carrie Ann and me were pretty much complete strangers, but same thing, trusted me, did everything I told her to do, and she did it. Now, I sign a lot of distributors, but a lot of them aren't as successful as you guys. Why? Because they threw the ball back, because you guys were willing to do things to get yourself outside your comfort zone. So you have to know that in this business, not everyone is going to be successful. They may say that they want to be, they may act like they want to be for a little while, but in order to be successful, you have to go through the good times and you have to go through the bad times. You have to go through the crazy times where you're so overwhelmed with your phone blowing up, and then the times where your phone doesn't blow up at all, you know, and it's like, pick your problem, right? Pick your evil. Okay. And so, I want you guys to unmute right now and tell me, as a new distributor, you signed a distributor today. What do you feel like is most important? What's the first things you have them do? What's most important to their business?
The first thing that I have my new distributors do is get plugged into the pack training page and download the It Works Connect app. And then I just kind of go through the training with them and then set up a group chat if they have, you know, if I put them under someone.
Okay, hold on. You're giving a lot of information. And so, okay, day one, as soon as you sign them, you add them to the pack training, you tell them to download the Connect app, right? Okay, so that's you throwing the ball back. That's you throwing the ball. Like, they're downloading the Connect app and you're telling them like, hey, I'm going to add you to our pack training. Okay. And then,
and I usually tell them like, let me know when you start unit 1, you know, or whatever, like stay in contact with me while you're going through the unit, so I know that they're actually doing it.
Okay, so you're asking them, so when you're saying we go through it together, you're asking them like, okay, so go ahead and do this, message me when you're done. Go ahead and do this, message me when you're done. And you guys, the only way that works is if Sarah is well-versed in what they're actually going through. And sometimes, like, even for me, like, I go back and watch my same videos. I go back and read my same posts, all those things. Okay, so you're going through the pack training. What else is really important to you, Sarah?
Since I work full time, it's really important for me to make sure that my new distributors are connected with their upline if it's not just me. Because I can't always, with a group message, I can't always answer their questions right away. And I know when I was first starting, you're in the like questioning, like, is this really what I meant to sign up for? Oh, she didn't answer me back right away. Maybe she doesn't know what she's doing. You know, you go through all of that stuff. And so I want to make sure that they're in a group chat and they're connected with more than just me, because someone else can answer their question quicker if I can't. I don't put them into the Teamwork Equals Dreamwork page right away because that page gets a little overwhelming sometimes. And I don't put them in our large Run with the Pack group chat right away for the same reason. I always ask them, you know, how much of the training have you gotten through? Are you feeling overwhelmed? How are you feeling? Before I put them into those big things that are like, you know, information constantly. And I always let people know what the Run with the Pack chat is about, and, you know, that it can get overwhelming, but don't let it get overwhelming, and things like that. My thing is that I feel like people come in and they're like ready to go, and then they don't get that like instant gratification. And so at the same time that I'm doing all of those things, I'm also just working for customers, you know, to put under that person, to give them that win. Because I also think people sign up and think that they're just on their own and it's up to them to bring in all of the volume. But we know that's not the case. We need volume where we need it, so we're all working together. And so I also kind of make sure that they know that they're not alone. You're not working on your customers by yourself. You know, we're all working on it together. And then really just like being there for them. Like the latest person that I signed is just, you know, she's trying to jump into host a posts, and we all know that that's a little bit slow right now. And so she's a little bit discouraged by that. And so kind of switching to the coaching aspect, and that I know how much personal mental growth I've had to do. And so I need to start those people on that track also, because we're all joining because we want something more. We're all joining because we're not in the place we want to be in our life. And the only place we're going to get to the place we want to be in our life is if our mind is there first.
Right.
Okay,
so
that's funny.
yes, thank you.
That.
So Katie, Carrie Ann, you guys can either unmute, put it in the chat. I know Ashley, you're about ready to unmute, so you can go ahead. But like, I want you guys to just like bullet point, like what is important when you sign a distributor. Go ahead, Ashley.
So for me, the first thing I do is I send them the message that where they have to send it to the 10 people, just kind of letting them know, hey, I just started this new business. Will you look at this list? Just so that they start getting their potentials and they start getting a feel for writing people. And then I have them screenshot me everything so that I can help walk them through it. I also have them screenshot me even if the person doesn't write back. It's more of like an accountability to make sure they're actually doing the work. And then if they do that, then I will send them, or that's just the first day. I literally just does that, and then I give them their information for their e-suite, and that's it. Like, I don't do anything else on the first day. Like just that, and then I give them like the 6 list, and then the first little video. But I don't do anything else other than just those on the very
What's
first.
that first little video that you give them?
If you look in our, sorry, there's flies. If you look in our pack training, there's like a welcome video that you made. It's about a year and a half old, because you're like, I've been with this for like 4 years. I'm like, no, you haven't. But yeah, I send them that video, and that's pretty much it. That way they can play with the e-suite and kind of get a feel for that, get a feel for messaging people. I did mess up, and on my first distributor, I put them in everything, and they were like asking all kinds of questions in the wrong spot, and so I don't do that anymore.
Okay. Carrie Ann, are you available to talk?
I can try. I don't know if you can hear me, but
We can hear you.
so I think for me the most important is to even kind of what Tay was saying in the chat, being kind of open, and I'm learning to be more of a type 2 leader, which is learning to get to know them so that there's more of a relationship. It's not just I'm above you, so I'm gonna tell you what to do kind of thing. So kind of leading with a relationship and building that relationship as you help them succeed. It's kind of my big thing that I'm learning.
Mm-hmm. And then would you agree with like what everybody else said as far as like action steps and stuff, or do you do anything different?
Right. Yep. The action steps help me to know if they're going to be a runner or not. So
Okay.
yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. So, like I said at the very beginning of this call, it is so important that you okay, so Amber is our ambassador diamond, right? And then I'm triple diamond, and then like each one of you like have your own teams. Okay. So like you really need to like wrap your brain around, eventually you're going to be a triple diamond leader, and you're going to really be in control and in charge of like your whole entire team. Now, even if I move distributors in your organization, like this is like, okay, so how do I want to say this? I will only help people grow their teams if they're on the same page as me and invested in what I'm doing, if that makes sense. Like, I am not going to move a distributor underneath a distributor who's never on my calls, who's not a part of our pack training, who's not a part of our run with the pack, because I don't know what they're getting. Like, I don't want to be giving them something and then their leader isn't isn't on the same page as me. Does that make sense? And so not to say that you always have to do things the same as me, but like I want us on the same page. So that way, like we just kind of know what's going on between each other. Like that a leader could come and ask any of us. Does that make sense? And so as you continue to grow and get bigger, know that you don't have to do the same thing as me. Like I have a leg that has nothing to do with me. And like, it's hard, like this is a new growing experience in my leadership. And it's hard because I just want to be everyone's friends, but they don't want to do things the way that I do it. And that is fine. And I am cheering them on and I'm liking their posts and supporting them however I possibly can. I'm still there for them, but I cannot actively put my distributors there because I don't know what they're doing. Okay. So I don't know what this looks like when I have double diamond, triple presidential ambassador diamonds underneath me. I don't know what this looks like because I've obviously never been there before. But like right now, like I want you guys to take ownership of your team. Right now you're paid as, distributor, executive, Ruby, Emerald, wherever you're at. But like I want you to have the mindset of eventually I'm going to be where Tamika's at. And either I can keep using what she has or I can create my own and like still like include her with what I'm doing. But like I can like literally create my own thing that my team needs and I can be there for them. You know what I mean? And so like as you're training your team and doing your stuff, know that just like Carrie Ann said, like I know. She said I had 3 ponytails like a dragon. Okay, go get Beckham's done. Okay, just give me. Okay, go turn on the TV. Okay. Yes, I'll plug it in a minute. So I want you guys to know that like you get to be in charge of your team and like know your team. Just like Carrie Ann said, like know who your team is, know what they need, know what their strengths are, know what their weaknesses are, what they're comfortable with, what they're not, who you can push, who you can't push, like all of those things, right? Okay, so when I think about what's most important, it's hard and it changes depending on the day. There is some great training in the Connect app. So having them download that Connect app like right at the beginning and having them go through day 1, day 2, day 3, like in the Connect app, that could be great for some people. For some people, plugging them into the pack training, like Kelly Jo is one that if I had that pack trainer, plugged her into it, she'd have the whole thing done in a day and like ready to conquer the world. Other people, I plug them into something or I'm like, watch this video, here's the link, let me know when you're done. And I never hear back from them. I have other people where I don't even add them to the pack training right away because I feel like it's going to overwhelm them. And so like, all I do is send them the message, like Ashley said, of, okay, here, like, you're just going to send this message to 10 people and screenshot, and we're just going to go one-on-one, like with each other. I don't even make a group message yet. I do the same thing as Sarah Ives. I don't add them to the Teamwork Equals Dreamwork page until I think they're ready for it. And I need to have that conversation. Like, listen, here's what the Teamwork Equals Dreamwork page is. It's a little bit of a hot mess, but you can find tons of good information in there. Like, so I'm going to go ahead and add you to it now, or whatever. Like we have that conversation. I'm not going to add them to the Run with the Pack chat until I know they can do that 6 list. Like Ashley said, like make sure they can do that 6 list on a daily basis. Okay. So how do you keep track of all of this stuff as your team is growing? Okay. If you guys were on the Sunday call, I talked about it. I said, I kept track of every customer and every distributor that came into my organization from distributor to diamond. I checked my downline orders. So that's in your eSuite under downline orders every single day. Anytime a new customer got added. So like I'm thinking about you, Ashley. I would have distributor Shelby. So I'd make columns like on a Word document, or you could just do it in a notebook. Okay. I'd make columns and I would say Shelby, Mary, Brenna. And then I would put all of their customers underneath them. Okay. And just have them listed. Here's the date their order runs. Here's their ID number. Here's their name. Here's what they're getting. And I would do that. And then when like Shelby signed Ashley and Shelby signed Leanne, I put their name like underneath her. Like I had it all done. Now I'm excessive compulsive, but I wanted to make sure that all the customers and all the distributors were taken care of and that nothing was running when it wasn't supposed to be running and that we knew what our next goals were. Like who needed to get their 4th customer, who needed this, who needed that. And so I kept track of it all until I went diamond. And then I was like, okay, this is a little much. And I still kept track of every distributor. I stopped taking track of the customers, but I kept track of every distributor that was signed in my organization until I went double diamond. And then now all I'm doing is tracking my personally enrolled distributors, but I'm like still like mentally trying to remember who's got who, So if you guys as Ruby leaders emerald, diamond leaders can really take care of your own pods, you're going to set yourself up for serious success. Okay. So what you guys need to do is you need to sit down and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So if like, I really like what Carrie Ann was talking about, building relationships and getting to know them. Okay. So there is 5 levels of leadership. Number 1 is positional leadership. You're their leader because they signed up underneath you. Okay. Like every single one of you guys, as your team grows, you're positional leader. Now, if you just go from positional to do what I said because I tell you to, you're going to lose people. Okay. They're not going to feel that connection. And I struggle with this sometimes. So taking that level 2 leadership, which is people follow you because they want to, because you build a relationship with them. So can you get them on a phone and talk to them? Can you get them on Marco Polo? Can you ask them a couple questions? And maybe instead of doing their launch post where they post on their wall that said that they're so excited for this, maybe you do a first post and tag them in it. That's like, I'm so excited to welcome Carrie Ann to my team. She is A, B, C, D, you know, all of these things. And this is what she loves because you took the time to get to know them. And maybe that's our first welcome post now, instead of having them do it, you know, and like welcoming them and like really getting to know them and their why and all of that stuff. Okay. Then level 3 is people follow you because you get results. Okay. So are you signing customers? Are you signing distributors? Are you able to help them with screenshots? Are you able to help them with posts? Are you able to help them with messages? Because you know what works and what doesn't work. Now, Sarah said that Host Post isn't working right now. Well, Host Post is working great for me and is working great for Carrie Ann. And so it's all a mindset thing, right? But you as a distributor need to set your distributor up for success. And so if Host Post isn't working for you and you have that mindset, and then you are training your new distributor to do Host Posts and it's not working for them, then they're going to get discouraged. They're not going to be excited about it, right? And so what is working, and that should be your first way to go, your first street to go down as far as how you're going to help them get customers. Because when they sign that first customer, they're excited, they're invested. Then you teach them, okay, write this down in a notebook, their name, their ID number. Okay, now we're going to follow up with them. Like, let's put a reminder in your phone and we'll check back with them in a week and let them know their tracking number and when their product's supposed to be there. You know what I mean? Like, set them up for success. Okay. And then level 4 is people follow you because you help them get results. Like, you're duplicating what you're doing. So when they sign distributors, they can use your system. When they sign distributors, they can use your system to help their distributors sign customers. So you have to have these duplicatable systems. And I can't tell you what that is, because for me, I have a variety of systems depending on what distributor I sign. When I throw the ball, how quickly do they throw it back? What do they need? Okay. So when I think about what is most important, number 1, you as a leader have to lead by example. Okay. You have to do your 6 list every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Kelly Jo talked about it on the call. She said, your team's going to do 1/4 of what you do. So now all of a sudden you got to make sure you're managing your time better. You got to make sure that you're up earlier or you're up later, or you set aside an hour in the afternoon that your kids and your husband knows that, like, you got to go to work. You cannot be interrupted. You've got stuff to do, because not only do you have to get your work done, now you have to help them get their work done. Okay. So let me talk real quick. I'm going to share my screen. I posted this in the pack training. It says you signed a new DT scripts. So this is what I have been using. And so you can just kind of go through here and it's copy and paste. It's official. You're a business owner. Here's your username, password, your website. First thing I'll have you do is watch this video, then shoot me a quick message when you're done. Okay. That's me throwing the ball to them. Okay. And then they message me back and it says, while they're doing this, I watch the video too. That way I can refresh my memory of what they're watching. I imagine it as if I joined the first time. How would I feel? Okay, so then copy and paste. So I don't know if you're like me, but after I joined immediately, I was like, what the heck did I just do? I was excited, but also terrified. So be honest, how are you feeling right now? All emotions, I want to hear them. So this is me like treating them like a person, like building a relationship, building that trust. You know, and we can work through whatever they want, whatever they need to work through. Reassure them and let them know they're part of an amazing team. We're going to do everything we can to set them up for success. Ultimately, their business, it's their business, but if they're coachable and understand that it's not always going to be easy, but we'll keep going, that they're going to reach their goals and more. Okay, so like that's just where you're reassuring. You obviously don't copy paste that. You send it in a voice message, you send it in a video, you meet with them face to face. You just like build that trust and connection. So next thing I'll have you do is send this message to 10 people of your choice. Okay, so like that's what's most important to me. I want to get them those 4 customers in their first 72 hours. So that video talks about what they should have, like mirror materials, what to expect, what we're going to be doing. And then immediately I'm going to have them send a message to 10 people. Okay, they're going to copy and paste. And then they're going to send this picture, which I always try to keep updated. So I'll update it as we need to. And then once again, while they're doing this, I'm making a welcome photo. No, I have not added them to the pack training or any team pages. I feel like it's all a distraction. Okay, if you tell them, download this app, go to this page, go to this, go to that, you're tagging them in all of this stuff. What's most important? For me, I want to help them get customers because that's why they get paid on, and that's the reason why they joined. Okay, and so like my focus can just be on doing this for 2-3 days. Now, if I'm going to be busy and not have service because I'm up hunting or I work a full-time job, so I can't be on my phone very much, maybe one of the first things I'm going to do is make a group message, because I know that like other people could be there to help in case if I couldn't be. Okay, so maybe that is a case where you make a group message. Okay, so anyway, you guys can go through this, and here is an option to train your new distributor. Okay, now in the Teamwork Equals Dreamwork page, if you guys click on files, right here, you'll see this one that says New Distributor Training 1. Okay, and so you can actually pull this up, and it is one that I think Amber created, but this is something that you have them print out, and you print it out too, and you go through it. So it says login ID number and password, so you plug it in right there, fill out your tax info, set up their ADBB auto shipment. So the first thing they're doing is logging into their eSuite, setting this up. Make sure that they know about their website, the product coach, the Teamwork Equals Dreamwork Facebook group, review the eSuite, download the Connect app, print off the steps to success, or write it out in a notebook. So like these are the first steps that she's having them do, what she feels is important. Okay, then look at your questions. What's your why? How much money do you want to make? How many hours can you work per week? How many months are you willing to put in? Having them set goals. Okay, then they're watching the training videos together. These ones are in the Connect app. Learning LC and DT and making a Facebook post, a launch post, a product post. And so this is in there too. You can save it to your computer, and then you can edit stuff and make it your own. I did this for a while where I legit had a checkoff list. I would mail this to my new distributor if they didn't live close. And if they did live close, I would meet up with them like at McDonald's or something. But I literally had boxes that we would check off after we had done things. I had YouTube videos I wanted them to watch. I had messages I wanted them to send. Like I kind of took this idea and I put it on a piece of paper, and I said, okay, once we get through this, then you're going to know everything that you need to know. And it was a checkoff sheet. Okay. And then one more thing I want to show you. Mandy sent me this. I don't know where she found it, but this is what she's using for hers right now. Where is she? There she is. Oh, I better open it big for you guys. So this is a Google document, and I kind of thought maybe I'll do this for the team, but distributor name, enrollment date, ID number, back office, website. First goal is to get your shopping spree 150 BV and 4 loyal customers. And so it has a place for 4 customer names, numbers, enrollment date, BV, and when their 3 months ends on. And then right here, second goal, get a fast start, enroll a distributor, teach that distributor to get 2 customers, earn $99, help your new distributor get shopping spree qualified now that they know what that is. And then next step, get boxed for executive. Okay, and it talks about executive. And then down here, just little sheets for them to keep track of their customers' information. I thought, and then down here, a little checkoff sheet as far as find events near you, team Zooms, all of these things in here. Okay, so here's another idea that you guys could easily use and create and do. And then, like I said, she has the scripts all ready to go. So if I scroll up to the top right here, okay, so day 1, step 1, they join on your website. You say, okay, yay, so excited for you. I'll walk you through everything. We don't need to wait for your kit to get to you. First, download the Airworks Connect app and watch this before anything else. And she found a video on YouTube that was a great distributor sign-up video that she liked. And she said, tell me when you finish that. So same thing, having them download an app, watch a movie. That's her throwing the ball, them throwing it back. Okay, day 1, step 2, they've watched their first video. Yay, okay, let's do this. Let's do the first step. Make this post on your personal Facebook, something like this, but make it your own. So she gives them an outline for them to post. And then she said, once you complete this task, come back to me and we'll get started on finding your 4 customers so we can unlock your $100 in free product and start earning commission. Sound like a plan? So now she's just saying, make this post. Tell me when you're done. Step 3, they completed their first post. Okay, I'm excited. Don't be alarmed if no one likes or comments. That's not really the point of the post. It's okay if it's a dud, like helping to catch that elephant in the room, right? Like it's okay if nobody likes or comments. You'll learn about this in another video. One thing I want you to do, if anyone comments, immediately tell me so I can help you reach out. I know, keep coming to me for lots of help. This is how I like to train. I don't want you to feel left behind. I'm always here and don't want you to hesitate with questions or concerns, okay? Next step. Like really, really good stuff here, okay? First thing is to get your 4 new loyal customers. So then she sends them a script. She says as soon as they respond, like literally if they say sure, screenshot it to me and I'll help you get responses. Like literally if they say sure, like, you know, like don't respond without us. Okay, then day 2, step 4, usually on day 2. Hey, lovely, a couple of things. I just tagged you in some great videos for newbies on Facebook. Go and watch them. Here's this, here's that, here's the other. You know what I mean? And so like, training a new distributor should be exciting, but it's only going to be exciting if you have it planned out ahead of time. Like if you know what you find is important and you have the scripts ready to go, the videos ready to go, the posts ready to go, all of those things definitely makes it easier. Doesn't mean that you can't do it without it, but definitely makes it easier. Okay, so that's just what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And regardless, if you sign up the distributor, someone in your upline signs up the distributor, or someone in your downline signs the distributor, I have found that if you can take ownership of your team and help how they need to be helped, you're going to set yourself up for success. And so if I sign a distributor and move underneath you, like reach out to me and be like, hey, what can I do to help this new distributor? And I'll say, well, right now we're working on A, B, and C, but like, I'll get back to you. Or I'll be like, you know what? Like, they're not really being responsive to me. Do what you want to do with them. Like, that's fine. And then if your downline signs a distributor, then reach out to them and ask them the same thing. Like, I'm so proud of you for signing a new distributor. How can I help support you? Do you have a system? Would you like me to share mine with you? That's you being a level 4 leader, duplicating your system to your downline to set them up for success. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Thanks so much. So do you have it in a Google document that you can send the link? Do you have it on the pack training that you can tag them and tell them where to go? Do you have it saved in your phone, just like Mandy did, that she can send it to me in a text message? You know what I'm saying? So how can you duplicate your systems down to your team? Because just like I said, I want to move distributors underneath me, underneath you guys. If you know what my systems are, you know like what we expect, what we want to have happen. Okay, same thing with your distributors. Like you want to be on the same page. Not that everyone needs to train the same way, but we all want to be on the same page as far as like, we help people get their 4 customers. We make good posts. We build good relationships. We show up to team calls, those kinds of things. Okay. So anything you guys want to add? Any ahas? Any questions? All right, then I'll go ahead and end the recording and I'll get it uploaded onto my YouTube channel so that way we can share it with our teams that need it. So thanks, guys.